Yeah, I think as far as this match today, I got a lot of things in my mind about it, but it was so good to see us push back and recognize that we were flat, and Green Bay was ready for us, and they had a nice game plan. And, we could have gotten frustrated and let that slip away, but we showed a lot. So the maturity of our team really kicked in, and I'm proud. Those last two sets were not easy, and for a big portion of those, I'm not sure we deserved them. So really nice to see us hold our ground and fight back. For the whole weekend, I think it's a lot of the same. I thought each team showed us something a little bit different, and we were consistent, though, and it was nice to see us kind of be true to ourselves and be there when we needed to be there. So early on in the season, these kind of things are good for us, but they're only good for us if we get a win, and so I was glad that we got it done.
Questions for Reagan? Reagan, you've had 9 aces in your last 8 sets. What's going on the back line to help you with your success?
I mean, really just going back there and knowing, like, if pass isn't getting to me in the front row and I'm not able to hit, still being able to be an impact player from the back row and just try to score points when I can.
And being a veteran presence on this team, win a game, you have to come back in the 3 and the 4th set. What goes on in the huddle with you and the rest of the veterans with the team?
For me, I'm trying to hype up all the veterans and tell them, we've got this, we've done this before. Everybody stay calm and, everyone just focus on what we can control. And I'm really just focusing on my blocking and my hitting to score points when I can.
So you guys were down in those last 2 sets and came back, of course, to get the match win. What was the defensive focus there? Because the offense was pretty good for the whole game, whole tournament. What was the defensive focus from y'all?
I mean, we went in with the game plan of taking out the outsides and really taking them down. And I think at the end of the day, that was really what we had to shut down. And defensively, just trying to pick up tips or, tools off the block when I can.
And then last thing, can you talk about the chemistry with this team? A lot of people last year, y'all were picked to not do well in the Big 12 this year, but you built the team through the transfer portal and you've had a lot of people come in. So what is the chemistry with this team right now, especially with a bunch of new group?
I mean, we've put a lot of work into it. I think we had a rocky start at first, and Mia coming from Southern Miss with me, we've been able to show everyone what a real bond looks like, and I think it's just kind of spread all over to the whole team. We've gotten really close, and I love playing with everybody.
You had 25-plus kills this tournament and just 2 errors. How are you able to be so efficient?
Really, I'm just trying to stay behind the setter as much as I can, look and see where I see an open spot, and just hit the ball. As simple as it is, I feel like we just needed someone to score, and I was just trying to be that girl for our setters.
How does it feel to be named the tournament MVP?
Feels really good. I've never gotten that before, so it's really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, good.
Oh.
You got a question for Tony?
When times get frustrating in the games, especially in the 3rd and 4th set, what do you kind of say to your team to have them settle down and perform and get the win?
Yeah, today it was a couple of things. I think we were flat in the beginning. We could sense it during warm-up. On a day like today, I felt like I needed to inject energy into the team, so I was probably more vocal, a little bit louder than normal. Just trying to keep it going, just have that influx, but also, just trying to rely on their maturity and knowing that we have an older group and they've been through these things before, and can we just keep our cool and just give ourselves a chance to come back and realize that the set is long. It's 25 points. You got more time than you think. It just takes us going on a couple serving runs, and that's exactly what we did.
What can you say about Green Bay's performance overall and how they went about playing?
Yeah, outstanding. They had a great game plan. They were really committed to staying away from our block, and they were just picking us apart. And it's really frustrating defensively when you're set up for them to swing at you and then they don't, or they just kind of chip away at you. And we had to make some serious defensive adjustments during that match, and I think we finally got it figured out.
Mia and Emily combined for 42 kills today. What can you say about those two and their just efficiency on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, Mia was up and down today. The first 2 sets were not her best, and we made a change. And then she looked at me in the third set and so I'm ready to go. I got it figured out. And she went in and was great from there on. And so, I just appreciate them just staying present and not checking out and not letting frustration ruin the day. And I think that really is a sign of confidence and maturity. And so it was good. Now, Merrick was a great matchup for us all day. And I thought her and Hannah and Casey got a nice connection, and she was hitting the right shots.
Coach, we saw a lot of different groups today, I think, compared to. And first of all, what is the health of Reagan Engler? She obviously was wearing a knee brace, and then she took it off and started warming up. What is her health looking like?
She's on her return to play officially. She gets a bigger jump count every week, and we're increasing her load slowly. She's probably got 2 or 3 more weeks before she's full go with no restrictions, and so we're just managing her reps, but she's there when we need us.
So what do you take from these first two tournaments you had to go on this big road trip? What is your message to the team, and how can you expect this team to perform later on in the year?
Yeah, the identity of this team really is about defense and first touch, and this is where we got in trouble today because our passing really broke down, just like last week at Boston College. So we've been mostly good, but when we're not good, it really throws us off, and so we've got to be much more consistent with our first touch. I think we're a good serving team. I think we're a really good defensive team. Our block is getting there. It's not quite where we want it to be, but it's there. And then offensively, we're a lot more balanced. We run faster tempo this year, and our hitters are a little more terminal. So I like that we're scoring points, and we're doing a much, much better job of that than a year ago. And we just got to get cleaned up offensively with our first touch, and then our connections will be there.
And last question, we saw, I think in the third set or fourth set, we saw Abby Dickinson check in as the libero and Correa go out. What was the, idea or game plan behind that?
Well, Abby is really good in middle back. She's got great range, and she's just fast. And so we wanted to put her in the jersey and just leave her in middle back for all 6 rotations because they were really chewing us up. And so that limited Mia's range. We put her in left back where she didn't have to cover from side to side. And Maddie's already a left back anyway. So it was more just about the defensive piece and just trying to take away what they were hitting and just putting someone in there that can really pick that shot up. And at the end of the fourth set, when we were in the middle of that run, we came out of a timeout and just told them specifically what they were about to do. And sure enough, they did. And Abby made a great play and got us into trans, and we scored that point. And so it was a really good adjustment, and she responded defensively. It was really good.
Coach, for a player like Bryn Williams, the first 3 sets really she just kind of struggled, but how about the fourth set when she just kind of found her groove?
Yeah, she was going for the wrong shot. She jumps so high, she's over the block every time, and hitters sometimes they just want to bounce it, and so she was hitting it back into the block, and we just needed her to work deeper into the court. And once she did that a couple times, then she got moving around and showed herself to a different angle, and then the shorter part of the court was open, and she was able to bounce a couple. But she just needed to just take what was in front of her and use that to score. And I thought she was great. She didn't start the match. We went with Simone, and when we brought her in, she's ice cold, but she warmed up quick, and I thought she was great.
Final question for someone like Reagan Linen, just to be able to know when you give her the ball to attack, you're probably not going to lose a point on it just because of how efficient she is.
Yeah, she's pretty remarkable. The girl can play anywhere in the front row. She's been a middle for us from day one, really out of necessity with all the other injuries we've had at that position. And I don't even know if that's her best position, but she's doing such a good job. And she's got a fast arm. She's very smart, so she creates angles for herself and gaps, and she's got a good connection with our setters. So good on her. She's been outstanding, just a tremendous pickup for us, and just a leader of the team, the whole thing. She's been great. Yeah. All right, appreciate it.